It's been nearly a year since Ruby decided to leave her 8 Passengers YouTube channel and follow a new, even more damaging path. During the height of 8 Passengers, the best possible outcome that people could think of was Ruby deciding to take her kids offline and give them their privacy back. Ruby and her husband Kevin got so deep into the family vlogging thing, they were making millions of views on every video. They were getting sponsorships and ads, they bought beautiful houses and cars. From the outside, that might seem like a dream job. Ruby got to stay home, look after her kids, film her day, and make way more money than most people could even dream of. But at what cost? 8 Passengers took any ounce of privacy away from her children. Some of their most vulnerable and personal moments were reduced to a good thumbnail and a clickbait title. In the end, Ruby decided to take her kids off of YouTube and made the decision to stop vlogging altogether. Her reason? Well, her reason wasn't because she realized that she made a mistake or she realized that she was exploiting her children. She actually blamed us, the people who called her out for exploiting her children.
The world has very many people have accused me of exploiting my children, and then those very people have turned around and exploited my children. I can't post a picture or a story about my children without it being exploited, and so I am not going to share my children.
Yeah. Well, it was good that Ruby was no longer filming her kids' lives. She decided to go down a new path, possibly even more harmful than her family channel vlogs. Ruby joined forces with someone named Jody Hildebrandt on a channel called Connexions. As we all know, Connexions is just awful. It's supposed to be a group where parents can go and get advice and have some kind of community, but the advice they're giving out is so dangerous. They've been clear that they don't support trans people, they don't support LGBTQ, they don't believe that kids are entitled to privacy. Some advice that they've handed out includes no privacy in the bathroom, not allowing their kids to do assigned homework on the computer, just really extreme parenting. Connexions even ended up driving a wedge between Ruby and her own family. Ruby has always been super close with her family, especially with her sisters. They all have YouTube channels together, they used to collab all the time, they were always visiting each other and going on family gatherings. But one day, that all stopped, and it's because of Connexions. Both of Ruby's sisters have been very public about their dislike for Connexions and how they hope Ruby finally comes around and sees the actual truth. Someone recently made a comment under one of Ruby's sisters' videos, and they wrote, "Do your children ever miss their Frankie cousins, or do they understand what's going on?" And Bonnie responded, "They miss them more than words could ever express. We all do." And I think that's so sad. The fact that the cousins are being thrown into the middle of this and aren't allowed to see each other because of Ruby is so unfair to the kids. They were all so close, and denying them that relationship with their cousins because Ruby doesn't think they're living in truth or whatever is just gonna do more damage than Ruby probably even knows. Last time we talked about Ruby and Connexions, we talked about Shari breaking her silence and admitting that she's no longer speaking with her family. It looks like nothing has changed because on Instagram, someone asked her for an update about the situation between her and her mom, and this is what she had to say. "Thank you for your concern. The details of my family matters is best kept between us at this time." Luckily, Shari was able to reconnect with her aunts, and it sounds like she has a really good support team in them. She shared screenshots of her going to her uncle for advice with her car. They all comment and send her love under her Instagram photos, and they've even been together in person a lot recently. Shari's aunt recently posted a video titled, "Something to be extra grateful for this year," and she captioned the video, "Family is everything to us. Having communication with my niece has put a piece of my heart back." In the video, she talked about reconnecting with Shari and how she'd be appearing more and more in their family videos.
A few months ago, I reached out to my niece, Shari, and over the past few months, a piece of my heart has been put back together, and it has been wonderful. And she's like our little friend. Ellie and Bonnie and we chat with her, and she's just like our little friend. She's our niece, and we just love her to death, and she's just the biggest sweetheart there ever was. And she said the other day that she's okay to be filmed, she's okay to be seen on our vlogs, and for a while there we just kind of kept things quiet because we didn't want to be like, "Here's Shari." But that is something that has been going on for a few months. Is she's come over and had lunch with me several times. She does her laundry over here, and it's just like been really fun to have her come into the home and just feel at home, and I just love it and she loves it, and so she is going to be joining us tonight.
And Julie's been liking a lot of comments about Ruby and the whole situation. Some of these comments say, "Thank you for taking Shari under your wing and caring for her. You all have such big hearts. I'm so glad that Shari is able to hang out with you guys since her other family has chosen to isolate themselves from you. Shari needs that family support where it's lacking in her immediate family. So glad Shari has her aunts and uncles. I hope you can make contact with Chad and the other kids soon." So I think it's safe to say that nothing much has changed with Ruby. She still hasn't woken up to how much harm Connexions is doing to not only herself and her family, but all the people that are actually taking her advice. Someone actually commented on one of her more recent videos and brought up what she did to her young kids last year at Christmas time. Ruby decided that her kids were acting in a way that she deemed inappropriate. And while all her other kids got gifts on Christmas morning, her youngest kids got the gift of truth and had to sit there and watch everyone open their gifts while they got nothing.
We told them that this year they are not going to be visited by Santa. Christmas morning, their 4 older siblings will be getting Christmas presents to open, and that they will have the gift of love from their dad and I.
Someone asked her if she regretted doing that, writing, "After having a year to reflect, do you regret your decision to give no physical present for your 2 young kids for Christmas? And if you do have regret, how did you try to move on from it?" And Ruby responded and wrote, "Truth does not generate regret." So yeah, even after all the backlash that she got last year over the whole Christmas thing, she still doesn't think that she did anything wrong. Her poor kids sat there and watched all their siblings open gifts and be happy while they got nothing. Keep in mind, these are really young kids that are probably thinking, how come Santa came to my house and left gifts for my brothers and sisters, but didn't give me anything? I just think it's really sad, and her kids only have so many years being young and believing in Santa still, and she took that away from them. I think Ruby is so deep into this, and despite even her own daughter cutting her off, and apparently her husband leaving her, she still hasn't come around. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.